We're about to enter into a brand new year. 2020 is going to be over very soon, and we're going into 2021. What is our mission statement? What should we be doing? What should we be focused on? So as always, we can find guidance and inspiration from the Torah portion. So let me share with you the Torah portion from this week. So the Torah this week deals with Jacob on his deathbed. Jacob's about to die. He's talking to his children who are around him, and he's blessing them. He's about to die. So Jacob's on his deathbed, and he calls over. Here we go. So Jacob's on his deathbed. He calls over Yosef. He actually blesses Menashe and Ephraim, and we'll see in a minute why. But let's go back to last week's parsha for a second. Look at the screen in front of you, and it says like this. When Yehuda was fighting over Binyamin, fighting Joseph, he's thinking Joseph's the viceroy of Egypt. By the way, the commentaries tell us amazing stories. Judah was so upset, his eyes were bleeding. He was so ferocious, like a lion, standing up to the viceroy of Egypt, even though it came at great cost. It says the hair on his chest became like spears about to pierce his garments. It also says that Yehuda gave a roar like a lion, that Pharaoh, who was on his throne, fell off his throne. In fact, Hushim, his nephew, was in Israel at the time. The distance from Egypt to Israel is considerable. And Hushim, who was deaf, heard the roar of Yehuda, and he came running and stood in front of Yehuda in front of Joseph. But when Joseph finally reveals himself in a very tearful, emotional reunion with his brothers, hear the words that he uses. Look at verse number 8. Ve'atan, he says, now, lo atem shlachtem oti heina, you didn't send me here. Ki ha'elokim, rather God sent me. Vayesimeni le'av leFaro. He made me a father to Pharaoh. Ule'adon lechol beito, and a lord, a master over his household, u'moshel b'chol eretz Mitzrayim, and a ruler over the whole of Egypt. The question is like this: did Joseph really think that he could impress his dad, impress his father, by telling him that he became the viceroy of Egypt? Did Joseph really think that his father cared about such a situation? We know Jacob. Jacob was involved in spirituality. Jacob was a person who was known for studying Torah his whole life. That's what he cared about. Did he really care that his son became the president of the most powerful nation in the country? What did Joseph mean to tell his brothers? Oh, God made me, this ruler over Egypt. And you see in verse number 9, Joseph says it again. Maharu, go quickly to my father and tell him, so says your son Joseph. Samani Elokim, God put me le'adon lechol Mitzrayim, like the president of all Egypt. Redai la'al tamod kamiyat. Did he really think that this would impress his father? It's here that Joseph gives us the mission statement of a Jew going into the year 2021. Listen carefully. You see the fight between Joseph and the brothers. It wasn't only about a multicolored coat. It wasn't just about jealousy of the father, who the father loves more and doesn't love more. The fight between the brothers was a Jew's worldview. How are we supposed to look at the world? The brothers, what was their occupation? They were shepherds. Why did they choose shepherds? Their father was a shepherd, their grandfather was a shepherd, and their great-grandfather Abraham was a shepherd. Why did they choose 3 shepherds? So that they could be secluded from the world. They wanted to be sheltered from the world. They wanted to be far removed from the world. They wanted to be in solitude with God. When they are shepherds, they are removed from the world. They can meditate, they can contemplate, they can concentrate on their prayers much more. And Joseph felt, for a Jew to succeed in this world, what he needs to do, what she needs to do, is be involved with the world. Take the world and transform the world and make the world into a better place. And now let's look at the verse number 9 and let's reread those words. Joseph says, tell my father, verse number 9, the inner meaning is, I have made God a Adon. I have made God a master for the whole of Egypt. Not God has made me a master over the Egyptians, but Samani Elohim, I have placed God as a master in the whole of Egypt. In other words, I've made the Egyptians understand that there's a God in the world. I've brought godliness to them. This is a Jew's mission statement going into 21. We have to take God, take the Torah, take spirituality and spread it wherever we are. If you're in the workplace, if you are on Zoom, if you are at home, spread Torah, spread godliness, make the world into a kinder, better, more gentle place. Our mission statement is Samani Elohim, make God a master not only over Egypt, but over your place, wherever you are. If it's New York City, if it's Florida, if it's South Africa, wherever you are, make God a master over your place. That is why in our parsha, when Jacob, every single Friday night, when we bless our children, we say, may God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh, who are Joseph's children. Why not may God make you like Reuven and Shimon, like Levi and Yehuda, like all the other 12 tribes? No, Manasseh and Ephraim. What's special about Manasseh and Ephraim? They were the only children, the first children raised in Egypt in exile. The brothers were raised with Jacob in Israel, in tranquility, in holiness. Joseph teaches us that yes, I'm in Egypt and I can raise Manasseh and Ephraim to be good people, good Jews in exile. That means if you're in Florida, New York, California, Brazil, Ireland, wherever you are able to raise good Jews. So we bless our children. May you be like Manasseh and Ephraim, that despite the fact that they were in exile, they were raised as true scholars, true God-fearing Jews. That is our mission statement going into 2021. Samani Elohim, make God into a master for the whole Egypt, for the whole world. May we all have a great, prosperous, enjoy 2021. Happy New Year, and may we fulfill our mission statement.